the Canadian Air Force. I went over to the Eagle Squadron.
How did you feel about the Eagle Squadron? Was it something they were more using it to recruit, Americans than anything else, or?
Well, it was a group of, it was just a group of guys that got into the business. It was a night company. I don't know how particularly how they did it. Well, there was a hell of a lot of the Eagle Squadron I didn't particularly like because, as I was concerned, they were a bunch of loudmouth jerks. And I heard so damn many stories about, well, some of the people I knew, every time I met him, he'd destroyed 3 or 4 more aircraft. I knew that was a bunch of crap. So.
And was that because they were kind of pushing them through to get Americans into that squadron for more publicity than anything, do you think? Or?
Well, I think the publicity was already built in because all these guys had been anywhere from a year, 2 years already in the service. See, when I went into the outfit, hell, they were all strangers to me.
What do you remember about Dixie Alexander? I think he
was a tough guy, and I thought he was a little nuts because somebody he'd jump on things and bang his head against the wall, and he'd
really?
He was sort of a tiger, but
not your style.
That wasn't my style.
I see.
He was nice. He was a good guy. I mean, he never teed me off. But well, the point is, we didn't get a chance to mix too much because he was a sergeant pilot and I was an officer.
Yeah. And what did you think of that? Did you find that, did that keep as far as an operational unit when you're sitting in different buildings, did that kind of...
Well, I thought that was... Well, we had some of that, and the guys transferred over to American Air Force. They had sergeant pilots too. But most time it was a short time before they promoted. But no, I didn't think too much about it, but I didn't think it was fair when the guys were taking the same chances. One supposed to be a gentleman, and there's damn few gentlemen actually in the Air Force. In fact, I think the sergeant pilots, they probably had more fun than the officers did. After DF, I got a wire from William Mallory, and he promoted me to squadron leader. Prior to that time, there was another American by the name of McAlpin. He was stateside during one of his bond tours or whatever the hell it was. He was due to come back, and then they busted me because I had girls in my room.
Was there any truth to that? I don't, or should I?
Well, this is the honest truth here. I was the only one that had transportation, so we went to the local dance. I don't know, it was Saturday or whatever the hell it was. And there were 3 other boys with me. And they had girlfriends, and the girlfriends had missed their bus back to the base. And they were going to be late, so hell, I offered them all a ride. And this is 2 o'clock in the morning and whatever. And I had a room at the base. So the girls had all piled into my room and the men. There was a total of 8 of them. And what they were going to do was to go to the mess hall straight from our place rather than go to the barracks and get caught. And they claimed that the base commander, and this is the thing, I don't know, a base commander, what the hell a base commander would be snooping around at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning in the officer's quarters. And anyway, I got a call from the wing commander at I was based at Biggin Hill at the time.
Yeah.
And he called me up and he said, Brown, he said, you better get on there. don't pick up your luggage, don't pick up anything, leave your clothes in the airplane and get back here. He said, the base commander said the military police have to arrest you. And it was very convenient. I thought about this afterwards, why the hell I would be fired for a thing like that. They never investigated, they never did a damn thing. Just bang. They had to find a place for him. So they fired me, and I was assigned to some damn flight husband there. Some damn place.
Were you flying a Lysander? Somebody said you were towing drogues for Lysander drogues after that. Is that true or not?
That was me.
Yeah.
I went to this flight, that's right. It was, I'm thinking everybody, it was Hesden, or I think it was Hesden.
Yeah.
And they had me flying, calibrating searchlights and anti-aircraft, so forth. And I'll tell you, talk about a hairy damn thing. Every time I went out on a mission, it was a different airplane, and hell, crew chief had to start the son of it. And I had no radio contact for a damn thing. And the thing I remember about the damn thing is all these searchlights and stuff are in the middle of London.
Yeah.
And Christ Almighty, I never was scare about a raid or anything else. The damn balloons would go up.
Yeah.
And I was in the middle of London with the balloons all around, and I had to find my way out of there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, it was I wasn't very happy. I can't have this. And the point is, right across the field from here was a police squadron. They were flying sticks, and they were having a hell of a time. And I thought to myself, holy Christ, I'm a trained Spitfire pilot, and I'm flying these damn things in a war zone. Well, you can't get much lower than that.
So you think it was a bit of a setup then when McCullough...
Well, the more I thought about it, it was darn funny that I'm fired just as the other man was returning, and they get in the squadron.
Yeah.
I didn't think so at the time, but when I thought about it afterwards, I thought, well, for crying out loud, what a setup.
Yeah. And why couldn't they move you somewhere else or moved him somewhere else? I mean, surely there was room for experienced leaders.
Well, I don't know. It didn't make sense. And that's another thing. When they asked me to transfer out the American Air Force, you transfer over in rank. Well, at that particular time, I was a squadron leader, which would have been a major in the American Air Force.
Yeah.
So because I was demoted, I went back down to flying officer. Well, no, we can't take you on as a lieutenant colonel, or rather as a major now. The highest rank was you did there as a captain.
Being an American in the RCAF, how were you treated by the Canadians?
Oh, hell, I was treated well. I never, I've been asked to join the Canadian Air Force, or not Canadian, but the Canadian Air Force, American Air Force. They were just getting ready to come into after Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
I was asked because we were trained and all. I was asked to join the American Air Force, and I didn't want to do it. I was happy as hell where I was.
Yeah.
After I got canned, this hadn't happened to me, I wouldn't have transferred. I'd have stayed in.
But if you had your way, you would have stayed in the RCAF.
If I hadn't had that deal, I'd have been in the civilian in RCAF, yes.